Buenos días, es el viernes y son las 12. Hello everyone, it's Friday and it's 12 o'clock, so it's time for Community Spanish, broadcasting every Wednesday and Friday at 12. A couple of quick announcements before we get into today's video. First one is that since this coming weekend is Patriots Day, we will be closed and no classes, group classes happening for this coming weekend and Monday. So this would be the night of April 16th through April 19th, we will be closed. And then the other quick announcement I want to give is that, as I've been mentioning in the past few videos, we were super excited to start our first in-person class at our office after about a year and a month, pretty much to the day that we had been doing only online classes. And so we were able to start our first in-person class this week. And it was a success. So we're really excited for this progress and just looking forward to the upcoming months. We're going to be offering more in-person classes kind of as things develop, as more people receive their vaccines and feel more comfortable to come into the office. So we're really just happy to see this progress. So if you are interested in potentially coming into another class, whether it's in person or online, the schedule for May is now posted on our website on rolalang.com. So you can check out all the upcoming options there. All the classes that are not labeled are online classes, since the majority of our classes are still online. But if you are looking for an in-person class, you will see the label in person in all capital letters will be put on that class level, so you can know what will be happening at our office. So all that being said, let's get into today's video. So we're going to be doing one other, hopefully final review exercise of reflexive verbs in Spanish, and we're going to be doing a translation exercise. So for those of you who are maybe new to reflexive verbs, if this terminology is kind of seems completely unfamiliar, then I recommend, if you want to check out some of my original videos where I first introduced this topic before you come back to a review here, you can go to the Rola Languages website on the Facebook Live page, and you'll see our video library of all the previous weeks that we have created all this content. It's all posted up there. So there's, at this point, more than a year's worth of material of Spanish videos, but also for all of our other programs. So if you need to go back there to check out the original video introducing reflexive verbs, then totally welcome to do that and get some more practice and kind of get more of your bearings before you come back for a review. But for those of you who are ready for a review, let's get into it. So we're going to be translating this text, so just from English to Spanish. And so translations are really kind of one of the best activities, I think, for when you want to really put your skills to the test, since it requires you to incorporate all the vocabulary, all the grammar, and kind of put a lot of different things all together at once. And also it's reflective of most of our kind of brain processes when we're learning another language and we want to speak. It's natural that we want to think about a sentence in our first language first, and then we'll translate it in our head to the other language we're trying to speak. So this is kind of reflective of how we do a lot of our speaking when we're doing another language. So I think the exercises of this style are really helpful to making sure that you're really able to use the skills that you're learning in class. So let's get into it. So if you would like to jump in with us, then I welcome you to put your own answers in the comments below. If you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, to put your own translations below. Either it's just a sentence, or if you want to put your entire paragraph. All of that is great feedback, and let me see how you're doing and kind of show how you're engaging with the video. So por favor, escribe tus respuestas en los comentarios abajo. Write your answers in the comments below if you'd like to participate. Otherwise, I'm going to help the rest of us walk through this step by step. So first, starting with this sentence, my name is Carmen, and this is my daily routine. So again, the focus of this text is to practice with reflexive verbs, and daily routines are something where we're going to use usually a lot of reflexive verbs. So, okay, so starting with my name is Carmen. Mi nombre es Carmen, or me llamo Carmen. We can put it kind of two different ways to say the same thing. Me llamo Carmen. And this is my daily routine. And this thing, esto es, and then my daily routine, mi rutina diaria. Okay, vamos a repetir juntos. So let's say this part all together. Mi nombre es Carmen. Or me llamo Carmen. Y esto es mi rutina diaria. Muy bien. I always incorporate that repetition into our exercises to not only help you train your pronunciation, but also to help you remember the material. The more you repeat something, the more you write it down, the more likely you are to remember it. So that's where the repetition really comes in handy. Okay, next sentence. I wake up at 8 a.m. and then I shower at 8:15. So first, I wake up at 8 a.m. So first we need to remember what's the verb to wake up. So again, hopefully as this is a review video, you'll be able to have these skills pretty much at hand, these words that you need. Excuse me. So to wake up, to wake up is despertarse. And so now we need to change it to go with yo, because despertarse is the infinitive to wake up. So I wake up, yo me despierto. So for those of you who have been following along with these videos, hopefully this conjugation is really coming second nature to you because we've been practicing this a lot. Yo me despierto at 8 a.m. a las 8. Excuse me. Yo me despierto a las 8. Y pues, or después, and then I shower. The verb to shower, again, hopefully that's top of mind for you if you've been practicing with us. Ducharse. So yo me ducho. Yo me ducho. And then at 8:15. At 8:15, going into our telling time. Again, that's another thing that if you missed the original video, welcome to check that out on our website to see the video on telling time if you need a little help with that element. But again, as this is a review, I'm going to be proceeding ahead as if you do remember how to tell time. So, a las 8:15. So, vamos a repetir juntos. So, repeat along with me. Yo me despierto a las 8. Y pues, yo me ducho a las 8:15. Muy bien. Okay, so far we had me llamo as the first reflexive verb, me despierto as the second one, and me ducho as the third one. So let's keep going. After showering, I like to brush my hair perfectly. So after showering, when we have something like this where we need after or before, and then in English it's followed by a verb in ing, like showering. In Spanish, we're just going to represent this with an infinitive. So you say después de duchar, or in this case, ducharme. Después de ducharme, after showering myself. Después de ducharme, I like to brush my hair perfectly. I like, again, hopefully this is familiar to us at this point. I like being me gusta. And then to brush is the verb cepillarse. And in this case, because we need to make it go with yo, and because we already have the verb me gusta, which is conjugated, as we know, we cannot have two conjugated verbs next to each other. So we have to have the first one conjugated and the second one will be in infinitive. So altogether, this verb phrase will be me gusta cepillarme. Me gusta cepillarme el pelo, for hair. So again, with these reflexive things in English, we say to brush my hair. In Spanish, we would say literally to brush me, the hair. So me gusta cepillarme el pelo, and then perfectly, perfectamente. Going into our adverbs, which we've definitely also practiced a lot into previous videos. Okay, so repita conmigo. Después de ducharme, me gusta cepillarme el pelo perfectamente. Muy bien. Okay, next one. After getting dressed and eating breakfast, this one is like after showering, which we said después de ducharme. We're going to do the similar structure. So después de, and then if you hopefully remember the verb to get dressed from our reflexive verbs, vestirse. So después de vestirme, after getting dressed, after dressing myself, después de vestirme, y comer el desayuno. Okay, so we're just setting up the first half of the sentence. Después de vestirme y comer el desayuno. As I said, with the antes de or después de, then we should follow with an infinitive. And that's why we have vestirme and comer. Okay, so después de vestirme y comer el desayuno, I have to go to school. Yo tengo, right? I have. Yo tengo que ir. Remembering this phrase, I had to talk about what you have to do. Form of tener plus que plus ir. Again, I've also made a separate video about this one, so if you need to practice that skill specifically, welcome to check that out on the website as well. And we're in this translation, we're putting together a lot of different skills that we've learned. So there's a lot of different topics to refer back to. So, después de vestirme y comer el desayuno, yo tengo que ir a la escuela. Ok, repita conmigo. Después de vestirme y comer el desayuno, yo tengo que ir a la escuela. Muy bien. Now, after school, después, we've been using a lot of después in this passage. Después de la escuela, I like to do my homework with my friends and play basketball. So again, with a phrase like I like to do something. So we're going to do the same thing like I like to brush my hair we had before. So I like to do my homework. Me gusta, for I like. Me gusta hacer mi tarea. Me gusta hacer mi tarea with my friends, con mis amigos, and play basketball. Okay? So, y for and then playing basketball, jugar al baloncesto. Hopefully you can remember that from our sports vocabulary. Repita conmigo. Después de la escuela, me gusta hacer mi tarea con mis amigos y jugar al baloncesto. Muy bien. Okay, seguimos. We have, I think, about 2 sentences to go. At night, I watch TV with my family and prepare myself for tomorrow. So at night, por la noche. Remember, for our times of day, we're using por la tarde, por la noche, por la mañana. Por la noche, I watch TV. Yo miro, right? The verb to watch. Yo miro la televisión. Okay, with my family, con mi familia, and prepare myself for tomorrow. Okay, and then here's our next reflexive, because you say prepare myself. When you do something to yourself, that's where our reflexive verbs come in. So the verb is going to be for prepare, very similar to English, prepararse. So again, to go with yo, it would be y yo me preparo. Yo me preparo. And then for tomorrow, para mañana. Yo me preparo para mañana. Y vamos a repetir juntos. Por la noche, yo miro la televisión con mi familia y yo me preparo para mañana. Muy bien. All right, last sentence. I go to bed at 10 p.m. and I typically go to sleep at 10:30 or 10:45 p.m. Okay, so we've got a lot of time coming up in this sentence. So first, I go to bed at 10 p.m. So to go to bed, well, again, you remember from your list of reflexive verbs from your daily routine, the verb is going to be acostarse, infinitive. And so now we have to change it to go with yo, because you're saying I go to bed. So yo me, remembering that acostar is one of those irregular verbs, so it's going to have a change from the o in acostar is going to change to ue or ue in English. So altogether we get yo me acuesto. Yo me acuesto, okay, and then at 10 p.m. a las 10 de la noche. Remembering here that when we're talking about general periods of the day, like in the morning or in the evening, we use por, like por la mañana, por la tarde, por la noche. But when we're giving a specific exact time on the clock, we will use de with the time of day. So for example, like it's 5 o'clock in the morning, son las 5 de la mañana, or if it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon, son las 3 de la tarde. So when we're speaking about just general periods of time, like talking about like such and such thing happens in the morning, or I like to drink coffee in the morning, we use por. If we're talking about a specific like clock time, we will use de to say like a.m. or p.m. So that's why in this sentence we're saying yo me acuesto a las 10 de la noche, because we're talking about a specific clock time of 10 p.m. Okay. Yo me acuesto a las 10 de la noche y I typically I typically go to sleep at 10:30 or 10:45 p.m. So, and I go to sleep. I go to sleep, or like go to bed and go to sleep, like I fall asleep. So the verb to sleep is dormir. The verb to fall asleep is dormirse. So this is a good example of a verb that in its regular form, it has one meaning, and in its reflexive form, it has a slightly different meaning. So, and there are several verbs that work like this, that depending on if you make them reflexive or not reflexive, it can change the meaning. So in this case, where you're going to use dormirse, and then it will mean to fall asleep. Okay, so yo me, and then for the conjugation of dormir, it's another stem changing verb like acostar. It's going to change to a ue. So yo me duermo. Yo me duermo. Típicamente for typically. So usually this words like the adverbs go right after the verb. So yo me duermo típicamente. Típicamente, typically. Okay, and then last part to say at 10:30 or 10:45. A las 10:30 o las 10:45 de la noche. That sentence is a little bit long with all those times. Vamos a repetir parte a parte, parte por parte. Yo me acuesto a las 10 de la noche y yo me duermo típicamente a las 10:30 o las 10:45 de la noche. Sorry, I forgot the la. De la noche. Muy bien, excelente trabajo. This one is definitely a challenge exercise. We're putting together a lot of different grammar and vocabulary elements. So this one is really kind of a pinnacle of your skills here. So if this was a little bit challenging for you, that's totally normal. It's very much expected with the number of different grammar things, different vocabulary things that are all coming together in this one place. But as I said, that's part of what makes translation exercises so effective for language learning, because they force you to combine a lot of different elements, which maybe in your class you've been practicing some kind of one thing separately and one thing separately. But when we're really speaking, we don't have the luxury of just using one skill at a time and one skill at a time. We need to put them together, and often they will layer on top of each other. So these translation skills, translation exercises are a really great tool for you to help really create, like turn yourself into a speaker of the language, because it's very much reflective of how you're going to be speaking. So if you do need any review for any of the topics that we covered in this video, as I mentioned, please feel free to check out the video library on our website, rolalang.com, where you can see the recordings of all the previous videos we've done of Community Spanish and our other community language programs. So if you need to check a little bit more in depth into any of the topics we've mentioned in this video, you will find them all there. So with all that said, I'll next see you on Wednesday at 12 for the next Community Spanish. Gracias y adiós.